All right, because all right, I want to make sure that yes, ma'am, you're welcome. So, guys, like I was saying, I did the COVID test at the University Hospital of the West Indies a few days ago here in Jamaica. And I thought I would do this video just to give persons an idea what the process is like. And that really and truly, you don't need to be afraid of the process. So, first and foremost, when the University Hospital is located in the Mona area of Kingston, St. Andrew, I think it is. I don't know Kingston what, but I think it's up in St. Andrew. When you to find the location, because I went to what is called their private lab, but the private lab is actually under a tent that they have set up around. If you follow the ring, follow the ring. Once you enter, I'm sorry, once you enter the main gate at in the Papine area and follow the circle all the way around past the Tony Twaits wing and go around. You see to the left there they have a big white tent there, and that's where the test was done. Now, first and foremost, so when I got up, I had to go and register. I was asked for an ID, and they wrote my name down. They said the ID was for verifying who I was. So they recorded my name on a slip, what looks like a receipt. They recorded my name and my date of birth. Then they gave me a plastic bag, a sealed plastic bag. In the bag had the paper that they wrote. Then it had a little bottle with some fluid in there, and what seemed to have been a swab was a long swab, but of course it was in a sealed package as well. Then they told me from that station to go up to another station where the test was actually being done. Now, what I found very strange, guys, or very unusual, was that these areas looked like some there were just some boarded um board look like board dwellings, for want of a better word, some boards, what board structure, that's the word I'm looking for, board structure. And so they had them like little cubicles, but they were made out of board. Now when you got inside there, there was of course a big glass separating you from the person who is doing the test. Another thing I found very amusing is that so the person who is doing the test, they go behind the glass, and inside the glass is also has two large holes where they had some massive gloves in those holes. And so the person who is going to do the test goes behind there and then push their hand in there. What I noticed is that the nurse who was doing the test, well, I don't know if she's a nurse or whoever it is, she had on all these body stuff protector garments, for want of a better word, and she also looked as if she had on multiple gloves. And then of course, as I said, she would push her hand in those big gloves. You of course, as the person doing the test, would stand in front of that glass. The person, she went in, she pushed her hands in, and then she asked me, so I thought of course she was going to take the bag from me. She did not take the bag from me. Instead, she asked me to open the bag. She asked me to open the bottle. I was to open the bottle. And when I opened the bottle, she of course took the swab. Remember, I told you there was a swab. She took that, she opened it, she took the swab, she inserted it into the liquid that I was still holding with the cover. And then she said to me to position myself so she could insert it in my nostril. What was interesting is that she didn't prep me for it, in terms of saying, she just basically pulled out and basically attempt to go into my nostril. It couldn't, obviously, based on where I'm standing, because I guess they're assuming that based on their height, that you are right where they are. I'm about to tell you if it hurt, Janky. So they inserted in my nostril, but it didn't go in properly. But yes, when she inserted, it hurt. I think the liquid that is in there, it burns actually. So when it went in, it wasn't going in properly. So she pulled it out and said, I need to come over and hold my head over a little bit more. Then she inserted it again in my nostril. Instantly, I can tell you guys, instantly my eyes literally start burning, because but I think because it's a swab and how small it is, it goes in very quickly. So by the time she pushed it in and pulled it out, of course, the nostril is burning out, burning daylight out. Then she attempted to push in this one. So I'm like, you're going in the next nostril? And she said, yes. because they have to do both of them. I didn't like the fact that it was the same swab that was being inserted in both nostril, right? Yes, they protected the PPE garments. Yes, Nasha, thanks. But she inserted it in both, and of course, by the time it came out, my eyes, both eyes. But I'll be honest with you guys, it happened very, very quickly. Like I can't. It probably took about 6 seconds, for want of a better word. Apart from the fact that when, because again, she didn't prepare me. So she just insert, and of course, it never going properly. So she pulled it out, and the pull she pulled it out, Lord Jesus, the nose bun. So she pulled it out and then have to set again. But apparently there is a way. If you set your nose a particular way, they can go in, guys. Now when she finished push it in both nose, she used the she told me to hold the bottle. She told me to cover the bottle actually, and I'm just thinking, right? She told me to cover the bottle, put it back in the bag, and I think she took the swab. I'm trying to remember now. What did she do with the swab? I think she put it back in the bag. She pushed it in the bag and said, I must seal the bag and drop it in a container that was on the outside to me. So at no point in time really do they handle most of what you are dealing with. So I said to myself, the truth is, Lord, if you really have COVID, you really have COVID, because they allow you to do all the handling. The most they do is the inserting of the thing in your nose, but they are holding on to, there's so much protective things for them, separating them from you, that really there is no contamination. Um, I so what took place, I think the side effects is what I want to share with you, is that from the time I did the test until 2 days later, my nose did not stop running, guys. I had it's as if my sinuses were now inflamed. So I had literally a runny nose, like my nose did not stop running from they did the test all the way until 2 days later. What I did, I made sure I took my vitamin C the moment I got home. Matter of fact, as soon as they were finished with the test, I drank a lot of water because I did not want to. I didn't know what was what, and then with all that liquid that they inserted into the, well, not insert, but the fact that the swab was inserted into a liquid and placed in my nostril, I was very mindful of that. So I had a runny nose, guys. I had a slight headache when I just got home, and so I went to sleep. So with a little sleep, I lost it. The headache went, but the runny nose just did not stop. I noticed too that even though the runny nose after 24 hours, but I figured that could have been because I took a lot of vitamin C and stuff. I don't know. But I did notice that. I do notice, having spoken to a number of other persons, that seemed to have been the effect. I'd love to know from you what happened when you did your test. I got back the results, of course, guys. I got it back 2 or 3 days later. Thank God it was negative. But I'm not sure if I like the process, and if I would want to go back again. The thought of them pushing something in my nostril and the way it burns, I don't like that. But then it happened so quickly. Somebody told me that I should breathe so that by the time when they're doing, and they're telling you to breathe as well when they're inserting the thing in your nose. But the truth is, it's kind of hard to breathe because while the thing was up in my nose, or in my nostril, I'm trying to think to myself, how do I breathe in this? Because you can actually feel the thing when it goes up, and it feels as if it goes up to here, guys. Yeah, it feels as if it reached up to your eye socket because it instantly triggered tears. So I don't know, it probably hit my eye gland, or I don't know what you call it. But the the experience for me, it wasn't a bad one, guys. It wasn't a bad one. There was no crowd there either. When I got there, I was probably the only person. I don't know if it's because it's a private lab. I really don't know that part of it, but I do know that it was a quick and easy process. And so I did ask a question. Would I recommend that you go do your COVID test? Yes. If you came in, and I guess you're going to ask, why did I do it? I did it because somebody in my unit was confirmed positive. I was not in the office with that person, but other persons were who I was around. So even though it is said that I was considered to be low risk, for my own peace of mind and for their peace of mind and several other persons amongst, including my children, I went and I did the test to be sure. I did not have any symptoms or anything of the sort, but I still, because as you know, you can be asymptomatic, and so it would be wise to go get the test done if you have come in contact with someone who had COVID. Guys, I can't stress enough that we do need to practice the things that they said we are to practice. Practice your hand sanitizing, practice your social distancing. If you don't need to go out, if you don't need to be in a crowd, try not to be. If you're around somebody who you notice they're not wearing their mask, either you're going to tell them to put their mask on or make sure your mask is on and ensure that you're not touching anything that they are touching. I have done my own test, guys. And yes, Naja, for real, wash your hand them. I have come to discover that for real, I never noticed it before, but about the whole fact that when you speak, a lot of saliva comes out. And I mean, I'm beginning to pay attention to those things. So as a result, I'm very mindful of the closed spaces that I'm in. And guys, as a matter of fact, I try not to get in closed spaces with anybody anymore either, right? So it's keeping myself at a distance as much as I possibly can. I love to wear my lipstick, guys. So I still put my lipstick on and put my mask on, right? I have found too, guys, that it's very important to be moisturizing the face, because I find that the fact that we're wearing this mask for a prolonged period and you're getting these dry areas around here, right? Getting these dry areas. And so I'm also noticing that they're beginning to itch also. So I'm very mindful of the kind of mask that I'm wearing, ensuring that my mask is clean and ensuring that I'm moisturizing the face as well. Another thing I must say, guys, that I have found that wearing the mask for a very long period of time does make me feel as if I'm about to pass out. I don't know if you've been having that problem as well, where you feel like you're going to faint having had that mask on for maybe 3 or 4 hours. So what I do, especially if I'm in the office or if I'm out, I try to find a space where I'm the only person there and it's an open space, and I remove the mask. Most times I go in my car and I remove the mask so I can breathe a bit. Sometimes we depend on where I'm at. Like I remember I was at the supermarket, guys, and I literally felt I was going to pass out. And so I had to just run to a corner, remove the mask, and do some deep breathing, just to get back to ensure that I'm getting back enough oxygen and that kind of thing. So that's it for me, guys. I thought I'd just share my experience. It was, as I said, it wasn't an unpleasant one, apart from the fact that my nose burnt a bit. It wasn't unpleasant. It was very, very quick. The area seemed sterile. Again, the truth is, I really didn't like the fact that the thing looked like a little shed, despite the fact that they had the tent over it. I didn't like the fact that it looked like a shed. But for the most part, it is what it is. The results came back quickly, and thank God all is well. So guys, I'd love to hear from you. How have you done your COVID test? What was that experience like? Would you do it again? That kind of thing. Naja, I take breathing breaks like how smokers take breathing. How do we take breathing breaks though, Naja? Because you have to keep the mask on, especially if you're at work at your desk where other persons are and you can't move. How do you do it? Hey Miguel, I hope you heard. I was just sharing my experience of having to go do my COVID test, guys, and what the experience was like. But it wasn't a bad one. Altogether, it really wasn't a bad one. As I said, the only thing I didn't like was I didn't like the fact that she had to go in this nostril twice, because the first time she went up, it didn't go up good. And I didn't like the fact the setting for where it's at, that the ground is all dirt, and it felt like I was just in a fowl coop shed kind of thing. But it's very impersonal. Nobody's talking to you, nobody's chit-chatting with you. It's a quick process. You just go do your test and leave the area same time. And this was done at the University Hospital of the West Indies here in Jamaica. So yeah. All right. Oh, Naja said, okay. Naja said hers was a blood test. Naja, I didn't know about the blood test until I heard you telling me about it. And that, yes, it's a quick prick. But here the problem now, I don't know which is worse for me. The one in my nostril or the needle, because I hate needles. But guys, whatever works for you to ensure that you get your test done, you do so. All right, so that's it from me. I'm going to leave you guys. Have to run to a quick meeting. Just thought I'd just stop by quickly to share my COVID experience and taking the test and how it was. And thank God my results came back. It's negative. So to God be the glory. I'd love to hear from you. And guys, remember, Uniquely Me episode comes tonight. It's the one, there are two episodes left. So the first of the two comes tonight. All right. So see you again, guys, later. Bye bye. I'm coming. I see.